Hey, welcome back to another episode of Open Shutter, the second one of 2024. And thanks everyone for watching, listening, wherever you're coming from, Spotify, YouTube, Google, Apple, wherever this thing is, wherever you're listening and watching from. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to check out this episode. Have the pleasure of welcoming Darcy O'Quinn to the program. He is a local photographer that
Thank you.
I've been following his work on Instagram, and I thought I would reach out to him and see if you want to come on the show and chat. So big thanks to Darcy for taking the time. And if you're coming from Darcy's side, or you just kind of stumbled upon this show, try to do this show weekly if I can, and try to bring on different people that make things, photo, video, painting, whatever. If you make something, we'd love to have you come on and chat about what it is that you do. Tonight we have Darcy on, and yeah, man, thanks again for taking the time. And maybe for the people that don't know who you are, maybe a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Darcy O'Quinn. I'm a 7 O'Quinn on Instagram. I've been shooting pretty much my kids for the last 18 years, and then the last couple of years I got more into street photography and heading downtown and shooting that place up and trying to make connections. And here I am.
Okay, so you've been shooting your kids for 18 years, eh?
Yeah, I started photography pretty much when I had my first child, so he's 18 now.
Okay.
And my wife used to be the photographer, and then I picked up the camera, started shooting it, and then as the kids grew a little bit older, I realized that sunsets are pretty, or street scenes, or architecture, or what have you, and I started shooting more and more. And then for the last 14 years, up to this past summer, was my son's last year of a baseball. So I've been the baseball photographer for his team for the last 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you must have a lot of cool moments.
Oh, yeah, tons. Tons of baseball.
Do you have these photos printed in like a photo book?
It's usually Team Snap, and I have on Facebook. I have a little bit of his baseball career going and stuff. And every parent on every team I've ever played, they all have the pictures. And
yeah. Interesting.
And that helped me a little bit with the composition and anticipating moments and so on and so forth. So so it helps you in the street.
Yeah, no doubt. So you kind of made the transition, yeah.
Yeah, and now he's a little bit older, and he's in university now, so I have more time to shoot more street and less baseball.
Interesting, eh? So do you miss the baseball at all?
Well, this is the off season, so not yet.
Not yet, but maybe soon.
I'm assuming there'll be a little bit less of my kids' baseball, more of the Blue Jays. So I guess I'll be going to see them.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? Interesting, man. Yeah, no, we're just chatting offline about your work. Like, I'm really curious about, again, if you guys don't know Darcy, go follow him 7 O'Quinn on Instagram. And maybe we show the people your Instagram, if that's okay to the people. And maybe,
for sure. That'd be
just kind of like and show and tell people like kind of like how you approach some shots, because I think they're really good. And I think in terms of like street photography, you always want to tell a story, right? Like,
yeah.
You always want to try to tell a story. And I think telling a story, like, you need to be really patient sometimes with regards to telling that story.
For sure. Sometimes too patient, you miss it.
Yeah, but like even like I don't know, are there photos that stand out to you, or that you're very proud of, or have a really cool story behind them?
They're all the fourth one down, beside on the left there, the second one down. Yeah, that one was that was fun. I just came back from Japan. We spent the holidays in Japan. Beautiful. So we went to Kyoto, Tokyo, Osaka, Nara. I was all over the place. We had a JR pass, and my wife is from Japan.
Okay.
And this particular shot was fun. We're just walking through Kyoto at night after we had dinner, and we were walking back to the hotel. I seen this open doorway and these two women in it. I didn't have my camera on me, but I had the iPhone, and I just snapped at it quickly. And kept walking, and then they waved to me, and we kept going. And it was a pretty cool moment. It was a beautiful night. There was a stream beside us. It was all you could imagine and more.
Now, I mean, it's a great shot, just because I love how you frame the subject. Are you always looking for like a frame?
Yeah, it's weird. I see a lot of with the. A lot of times I see in Lightroom, or I'll see with my 80, even though I'm not carrying the camera, that's my perspective.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Quite often I have perspective for composition.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's really just what makes people's work stand out, just the ability to kind of see the photo in your head and kind of see like the composition instantly, right?
Yeah,
It's
who was it?
muscle memory type
It's-
of thing.
oh yeah, for sure. You're just
Yeah,
it's an extension of you at this point.
yeah,
I seen a interview. I think it was Henry Cartier-Bresson,
yeah,
and he hadn't actually taken a real photo for years because of his eyesight or what have you. But he said he
mhm,
kept on. He'd take them with his mind. He was always seeing the
yeah,
pictures and taking them.
with his mind, eh?
Yeah. So
It's
yeah.
interesting. It's interesting. I always find that like whenever you kind of get into the groove with photography, and you just like you're just walking down the street, and you're just seeing shots like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's almost like the Matrix. You're just seeing stuff like
Hmm.
like everywhere. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
interesting, right?
Well, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's tons of well, I'm always driving, so I'm either driving the family or driving here, there, and the
yeah,
other way, and all the sights and shots you miss while you're driving. It's like, oh, if I didn't have a
yeah. That's
steering
the
wheel.
thing, right? Because and like it always happens that like whenever you don't have the camera on you, it's like, oh, I wish I would have brought it because
Oh, for sure.
like that's just the way it goes sometimes, you know. But I
Mhm.
mean, you know, again, like I guess just curious, like how is Japan in general for like street photography? Like were
Uh,
people like
Japan was pretty awesome. Mostly,
yeah,
yeah, most people in Japan, people are always busy doing things all the time. They don't have
mm,
time to worry too much and too much
mm,
about anyone taking their photos.
yeah, okay,
And
so
obviously, I go there as a tourist, so there's no expectations on tourists. They expect us to be taking shots and running around,
right.
and
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
this
I've only been to Tokyo, so I just remember like it was so crazy for me because it was like everything was happening like all at once. Just like there were shots everywhere, you know. So
oh, for sure, yeah. And it's a lot of the times you think it'd be really great to go down to like Ueno Station or something, take a bunch of
yeah,
photos in the crowded subway, but you're in a crowded subway, everyone's so tight, it's
yeah,
next to
that's the thing,
impossible
right?
anyhow.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I would love to go back to Japan and kind of do what you did and kind of like
Hmm.
see more of the country. I think it's a great country, man.
Oh, it's just
Beautiful.
yeah, tons of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
it's fun. The second photo there with the man looking out the window, that's on the I think it's a 42nd floor of their like city hall. That's the
Okay,
municipal
okay.
building
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Tokyo.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And I had just as much fun. It's an observation deck. I had just as much fun
Yeah.
observing people taking their shots, and I
Yeah.
took tons of them.
Isn't it though?
At the point where yeah, my family was ready to go, and I was like, oh wait, this I could have sat there all day. And they had
Coulda,
a
right?
grand piano there, and there's people
Yeah,
playing piano, and
yeah. You're
uh,
trying to you're capturing the moment that they're capturing.
oh yeah, yeah, it was tons of fun.
Yeah, it's
This
interesting, man. And like the thing with like people like just taking photos on their phone, like everyone's doing it. So it's not like you're at a shortage of like subjects. You just
no,
got to hang around and you're gonna get
oh
some
yeah,
stuff.
for sure, for
You
sure.
know, like what's like I guess just curious because I'm always at like kind of like two trains of thought with like street. Do you like park yourself and just wait, or you just like hunt and just see something and take it and move on?
A, a little bit. I'm impatient, so I
Yeah,
wish I could fish longer and fish
I like that.
better. But like this particular picture here, I like
Yeah,
the way those shadows were coming down behind him there, and I like the way the
yeah,
windows were set up. So I
I
kept
like
that
it
in
as
mind
well.
as I was walking around. I think I got a picture of this guy and one of the guides at the same window. We're trying to capture the light and stuff. But yeah, a lot of times I'll capture I'll see the scene, the lighting that'll excite
Yeah,
me, and
so
I'm
it's
all
like
about for a little while. But I'm really impatient. I like to walk, so
you
I'll
like
even
to
set a
walk.
timer for the phone. I'll say 5 minutes, and I'll try to stay in one spot.
You gotta do it. You gotta set that timer, or else you just be there for hours, right?
Oh, not this guy. I'll be gone. I
Yeah,
don't
you'd
have
be
the
gone. You'd be gone, no
yeah
shot. Yeah, I'm
yeah
always
most
I'm
of
always curious with that. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the time I maybe once a month I get out to. I've been trying in the last year or two to go do some street photography, like on a Sunday morning before the kids
Yeah,
wake up or before
right, right.
life gets started.
Sure,
And I
sure.
have a window of maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, okay.
So I usually I'm a pretty brisk walker downtown. I'll walk around, try to get as much in those 3 hours or 4 hours as I can possibly. Well, stopping for coffee and washing
Yeah.
breaks and having
Well, coffee
breakfast and
coffee is mandatory. Well, coffee is mandatory. I mean, that's not even a question, but
oh,
are we
for
talking
sure.
like 6 a.m.? Like is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
I wake up at 6 a.m. regardless. The
Yeah,
subway from Kipling, it only opens at 8. So I'll
right.
go down there, hop on the 8 o'clock for the Sunday and go down to Union.
Okay.
And I'll start at Union and take it from there. I'll either go east, west, down to the
Yeah,
lake.
yeah. Yeah, there's some great spots by Union for like street.
Oh, you could hang around with Union all day. It's just
Good,
beautiful, and it's
especially
great
just
in
on
the
Front
winter
Street.
time.
Yeah, especially on
Yep.
Front Street with the with the covered walkway, the pillars there
Oh, it's
on
just
Front
amazing.
Street.
And in front of
You got,
Front Street there, you have the reflection coming off the
yeah,
what building? It the RBC building, the gold
RBC.
reflection
Yeah,
come.
I
Yeah,
know, I know. I
so there's
saw
lights
that. I know
everywhere.
exactly what you're talking about, and I saw that reflection. Like it was one of the first photos I've ever taken back in like 2016. I'm like, this is
Hmm.
cool. Look at this
Oh, for
reflection,
sure.
guys. Like no one knows what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
just
I
trying to make
just
your
love it.
photo different. You're trying to make your photo different somehow.
Yeah. But and so I told you I had the library show coming up, the
Yeah,
gallery show at the library
yeah.
at Richview Library, and that's the whole show is going to be based on Union. So it's Station
Okay,
Solitudes.
okay.
So it's
That's
all
what it's called.
yeah. So it's Station Solitudes, and
Yeah.
it's a street photography in and around Union Station.
Okay.
And it'll be up at a Richview Library at 1806 Islington Avenue. And I
Okay.
think there's going to be about 18 pictures in there,
Okay.
and it's you can see most of the pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
But when I applied for the library show for the gallery show, and I was like, well, what could I? It has to be a theme. It has to be a theme.
Yeah.
And because I get off at Union every time, I
Right.
have tons of pictures of Union, and that blockage there. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, I like that. Well, I keep saying like I think having a theme really helps you focus on your work. Like kind of gives you like a direction to go to.
yeah. And applying
You
for
know?
it to the library, they probably took that into consideration too. I could have gave them the greatest hits, but it wouldn't have been
Yeah.
it wouldn't have
Interesting.
gelled as well. Yeah.
So do I guess like multiple people apply for this and they only select one? Like how does it work?
Yeah, somehow it was either Facebook or Instagram, or somehow I got the notification that you could apply for the library. So, oh, this is interesting.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's not every library in the city. There's maybe like a dozen of them.
Yeah.
And I've gone to Richview before, and you see people with their paintings up or their
Okay.
whatever their art is. So yeah, so I
Right.
was already aware of it, and then I seen
Yeah.
something public service announcement on one of the social medias, and oh, I'll jump all over that.
You never know where it's gonna take you sometimes. Sometimes you
Oh,
just gotta apply and just see what happens. Because you never
yeah,
really know
yep,
sometimes with anything.
yeah. Yeah.
So are you gonna be there like on the first day
Yeah,
to
I'll
like
be
talk
there.
about it? And
Yeah, I'll be there the first day. I was supposed to get more emails and stuff from the actual branch, but
okay.
because of this whole hacking system thing,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so
The
they're having
hacking
a little
thing.
bit of problems with their emails and their internet and stuff.
Oh,
And
oh,
I was told there's going to be a link I could copy so I could put on my social media. That hasn't happened yet,
okay.
but yeah, I'll just start promoting on my own. And I've gone
Yeah,
in. I talked to the library staff themselves, and
yeah. Interesting.
yeah.
So
Mm.
you yourself have like blown up your photos and printed them and
Yeah, yep. I've been
that.
using Poster Jacks as a local place on
Okay.
Kipling. Yeah, and I did a
Poster
bunch of fine art.
jacks.
Yeah, Poster Jacks.
All right.
Yeah, I've been I printed off mostly the 8x10s, a couple 8x12s.
Yeah,
Printed those off, got some frames.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna be able to buy these.
I was thinking of selling the ones on the wall, the ones
Yeah,
there, because
yeah,
otherwise you could start selling prints and stuff. But I'm not
yeah.
really at that stage yet to.
No.
Yeah. But I'll
Okay.
get there. Probably get there when I get a website and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you never know. You just never know. Like
Yeah.
maybe there's gonna be like like a famous art dealer or something that shows up like a freaking who knows
Oh yeah. Oh no,
like
I've had lots of friends and stuff. They want photos and stuff. I say, all right,
yeah,
well, I'll print it. You give me whatever it costs to print it. And they're like,
sure,
all
sure,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Hey,
all the
you just gotta put yourself out there and
yeah,
see, right? Because that's what I tell
oh,
people. Like, you just gotta put yourself out there, share your work,
yeah,
and you see where it goes.
yeah. Well, that's what
Yeah,
this year is for me. I'm trying to get out more, and
yeah,
I've got a more time than myself as the kids are getting older. So yeah, now it's
yeah,
time to pursue more things that Dad's interested in, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Now, is your wife also still into photography, or she's kind of
No,
falling off a little bit?
she stepped away from it now, but yeah, she's busy feeding the kids and doing all that stuff, and I take
Hmm.
pictures. That was the
So
dad
just you
taking the
then.
pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
She's far more technical than I am, and she knows more about film, and
Yeah.
I know
Good.
about automatic settings and pointing and shooting and composition.
Yeah. Well, it still works either way.
Yeah. And when
Have
I was
you?
shooting the baseball, I just put it in a sports mode
Yeah.
and or action, just trying to
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, whatever gets the job done.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Obviously you got some good stuff here. Like in terms of just, I guess what's some advice you can give to someone that's like want to do street? Like, I guess what were some of your challenges when you first started street photography that you can give some advice to someone else starting out, kind of thing?
Shoot everything and shoot it all
Mm,
the time and hit every cliche. They're like, oh, this is a
every
cliche. Hit them.
cliche.
You got to check them all. You have to check all those boxes off.
And
You have to
what are the cliches though?
what everyone else will be shooting. Like all the
Oh, okay.
yeah. And then you can try to look for your own angles. You look for the obvious angles, and then you try to find. I try to find something new or different, or
Yeah.
yeah, get down, get up, go to
Get
the
down.
left, go to the
Yeah.
right.
Right. Don't always shoot eye level, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I like this too with the red. That's great.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's great.
this is walking down Queen Street, and
Yeah.
yeah, the shirt stuck out to me.
Sure
Obviously, the
makes it
red.
100%.
Hmm.
No, it's just stuff
What?
like that. Always kind of paying attention.
Yeah, yeah, and that was on a lot of times. Yeah, a lot of the photos. I'm just like the woman just on the top left there.
Yeah.
I was on my way. I walked over to St. Lawrence Market, and I was walking
Right.
back on might have been Queen Street. I don't know, going back towards Union. Maybe it was a good thing
Yeah.
of heading at College Park, and I literally walked by her, and I did a U-turn, and I took a few photos, and
You
she
got to
could
do
care
it.
less. Yeah, she
She couldn't care less, eh?
didn't bat an eye. She was enjoying that cigarette.
Well, you got to do it. I mean, has anyone ever told you delete the photo? Has everyone
No, no
ever?
one's ever told me to delete a photo.
Yeah.
You have to be careful around parents and stuff.
Of course. Yeah.
And
Of course.
and even when I remember when I was out with my own kids taking pictures, I had mums give me a hard time, like I am with my kids.
Yeah.
But I'm cautious with parents.
Sure.
Yeah, I try not to shoot anyone who's really down or out, or you don't want to
Yeah.
shoot people up the
Exactly.
worst. And when
Yeah.
I would like to
Exactly.
think that all the candidates and all the street shots I take, that if the person seen them, they'd appreciate it and go, "Oh, you grabbed me in a nice light," or that people would
Yeah.
see grandma here and go, "Oh, grandma looks cool." Or,
Yeah. Yeah. I think one way to go around that is to like talk talk to them first.
oh
Like if someone was homeless,
yeah, yeah,
you would go to that person and say, hey, maybe you're doing like a project around like
yeah,
homelessness in Toronto, and say, hey, I'm Darcy, I'm doing a photo series,
yeah,
and you talk to them first, and then you see like if it's okay or not, and then at that time you also kind of get their story too, like a little bit of context to like the
yeah,
photo, like it's kind of like like the streets of New York type of vibe.
yeah, for sure.
I think someone in Toronto did that project. A
I
home.
bet you, I bet you,
I
there's been a
saw
thousand people
something
do
where
that.
someone they actually did like a full kind of like sit down with the person and kind of got their story,
Hmm.
and then the photo was like the after,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
more of a documentary type thing.
something like that. Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
I think once because people are always cautious with the camera, like whenever someone says like act natural, it's impossible, like just like a human thing. But
yeah,
um, if you
yeah.
talk to them,
Well,
explain what you're doing,
that's why it's
they're
always
down.
I like to if I'm fishing or I pick up a corner or a spot and
Yeah.
then they come into my frame, so I'm not chasing them.
That's
They're
the other trick. Yeah,
yeah, and
exactly.
once
They
in a
go into
while,
your
like this woman, she did notice me, and I
yeah,
smiled and nodded, and she didn't, a lot of the times a smile and a nod or a wave,
yeah.
and other times you just pretend like you're shooting the fire hydrant behind her, and she's all right with that too.
That's the other trick to do too. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, no,
Hmm.
there's definitely ways to kind of get the shot. And now, what lens are you using?
I've got an 80 and a 45, 35.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's 80 for everything, and then the
yeah.
35 when it's too close.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it works out.
it's just a Canon Rebel T5. It's nothing fancy. It's
Yeah,
just entry level.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was the best camera I could get with the most money I had at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
doesn't
seems to
matter.
work.
Whatever.
Yeah,
To me, it's like can you get the shot with what you have?
Oh, for
And
sure.
then,
Yeah.
because you can have like a $5,000 camera, but if you miss the person in the red shirt, you miss the person in the red shirt.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
it. It's over. So
Yeah, there's a saying in baseball. It's a $300 bat can't fix a $5 swing.
oh, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Same with baseball, same with
Yeah.
golf too. Like same, like you can buy the greatest clubs, but if you don't have a good swing, then it doesn't really matter, right? So,
Oh, for sure.
but it's good that you're always
Yeah.
practicing. Like that's what I say. Like you just gotta keep going and like just keep
Oh,
because
yeah.
like the hardest it's so easy not to do it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Well, and so often I'll go out and let's say I took like 5 or 6 pictures of this woman or this particular
yeah,
scene,
yeah,
and let's say none of them were, I didn't want to post anything, none of them were that great, but I'll still edit it so I can practice my tones and my shadows, or
sure,
this.
sure, of
Yeah. So
course,
there's so many pictures that I put in Lightroom just to see what it would look like
of
if
course,
I could make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, polishing
yeah,
turds, trying to.
yeah, yeah,
A lot of times it's a fail, but it's still you're
yeah.
still learning. It's still fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to use the word fail a lot because I
Yeah,
think we've always been there. Like
yeah,
all of us have been there at some point. So it's just a matter of like just kind of like
yeah.
learning and kind of growing with it. Like do you always shoot in color and then convert to black and white or sometimes do you just shoot black and
Yeah,
white?
it's huge. It's always color.
Yeah.
It's always color. But when I do most of my pictures, I mute a bunch of colors in them.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
notice that none of my, other than those two clowns, a clown picture, most of my
Right.
pictures there's colors being muted here and there.
Yeah, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I like the picture of the husband and wife. I'm assuming smoking on the steps there.
Right
I
here,
probably
yeah.
took the blues out and then re-added the blue to their,
Got it. Got it.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit later. This particular couple, they noticed me taking the picture, and
They're
then
looking right at you.
yeah, and then I just shot above their heads and kept going.
Yeah. Did they say anything to you?
No, never. They noticed me, and then they noticed that I was shooting around
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but yeah, it wasn't the yeah. So I punched the color up on them a little bit while taking the color away from the
Mm,
environment.
yeah, no, I get that. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's all about paying attention, man. It's
Oh
half the
yeah.
battle. Even like this guy with the frame.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a
Very
fun.
intense.
This guy was interesting. I was watching him from the subway. I was going west. He was going. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going west. He was going east at
Yeah.
Bathurst. And I was watching him and he was just standing there. I was like, where?
Yeah.
And then his subway came,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I guess he's gone. Then I looked beside me. He was standing beside me. So I don't know
Oh,
what
really?
the yeah. I was like, oh, I guess the decision was to go east or west. It wasn't.
He
He
was,
looked a lot deeper.
yeah, he was. Well, it's good. I just like how you
Yeah,
use
and then
that frame though.
yeah, and he was rubbing his chin and stuff. I was like,
You
wow,
know?
that must be some difficult life decisions going on there.
Yeah, there's some deep stuff going on over there.
Yeah, but
Um,
yeah, when you standing beside me, everything looked a-okay.
yeah. You're like, don't worry, I got the shot, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it. Don't worry.
Hmm.
It's good. Um, yeah, even something like this too, like a
Hmm.
silhouette. I like that a lot. Living
Yeah,
Arts
this
Center in
was
Mississauga?
yeah, that was the Living Arts Center, and
Okay.
there's the stairwell goes up on the inside of
Yeah.
that giant window, and it's probably 3 stories or 4 stories.
Yeah.
And I seen the bright green foliage outside, and I was like, oh, there's got to be some
Has to
composition
be.
here.
Yeah.
And so I just went over to the other stairwell, to the other pedestrian
Yeah.
bridge. And I
Yeah.
just waited and waited, and I thought for sure it was going to be a color shot, and the color
Mm,
was it's just too much color. It was just everything was too
yeah.
green. So yeah, I went silhouette on it. It seemed to
Had
work
to.
out. I
100%.
took this poor woman. I took, I think I took a couple pictures of her coming and going,
Oh,
and she
really?
definitely noticed me. But it's a temporary library just to the right of her because the Hazel McAllen
Okay.
library is under construction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a temporary library there, and it was a slow day. It
Interesting.
was like a Saturday or Sunday. I think my wife and kids
Yeah.
might have been at the Square One.
Yeah.
And I've seen enough malls. I walk around. I'll go down to
Yeah.
Korea Park or to see what's happening at
Yeah.
the square there, Mississauga.
Yeah. 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 What are some of your favorite spots to shoot besides Union?
I do a lot of union. This summer I went down to the Harborfront Center a bunch.
Okay, yeah.
Did that. I like the the Ryerson the image gallery there. Where
Okay.
I always hand up to the Ryerson Learning Center, just right on
Okay.
Young.
Yeah. With like the steps going
Yeah,
up.
I love
Yeah,
those
that's a good
steps and the way
spot.
the
Yeah.
shadows, and then
And like the
they have the
building there.
pond in front of, yeah, the
Yeah,
pond's
no.
just over there beside the image
Yeah.
center, and then there's the coffee shop, the Balzac there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that spot
Hmm.
well. Yeah, that's a good spot actually.
Yeah, and you see photographers in there all the time. A few
Oh,
times I've talked to Dave Bottoms. He's a local
right,
street photographer.
right.
He's always there. He said Saturdays and Sundays we seem to be on the same schedule, and we
Yeah.
sit down and chat a bit.
He must have some good advice, eh?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This summer he's talking. Last time I was there about he's made a book, a color book, I think it is now, another street photography book. So he's
Yeah.
busy getting all that together.
Yeah. Interesting.
And
Well,
I've met different photographers there. It's a great place to meet.
yeah.
Central.
Good place to meet other photogs, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important to like meet and chat about whatever because I think that's just the way you learn sometimes. Especially if you got the camera in your hand, someone can teach you live in the field too, real quick.
Mm. Well, for sure. That's what I've been making a conscious effort to get more out, like the groups, the meetups, of get out
Yeah.
and shoot, and the
Yeah.
T dot shots I went out
Right.
with, and this
Yeah.
all the different groups. A lot of the times I'm busy
Yeah.
on Saturdays, but once in a
Yeah.
while I can get out there and so yeah, just to touch base and to chit chat and talk shop with the other photographers, and
Yeah. I think it's
it
important. I think it's
yeah.
important.
Yeah, it's always fun because we'll be walking down the street and I have no idea what they're shooting. And I'm looking and go, what is this composition? And it's always, yeah, I'm always amazed and say, wow, this is
Yeah.
something it's something I didn't see. They
And vice
pick up
versa
the,
too. And
yeah,
vice versa too. You be shooting, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" Like, "Oh, you don't see it."
yeah, exactly.
It happens.
Yeah,
It happens all the time.
it's fun to get the different perspectives and yeah,
Yeah, I think it's just a way to learn and just to grow and just to like, just kind of like basically make friends too and have
oh,
fun.
for
And
sure. Yeah,
it could be so simple sometimes.
yeah, it is.
You
And a
know
lot
what
of
I mean?
times, like street photography, so it's a lot of it's a solitary. So it's
Yeah,
nice to touch base with other solitary
exactly.
people.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a solitary like quest.
Yeah,
Like you're trying to find like the king daddy of all stories in Toronto.
yeah,
Meanwhile,
exactly.
it's like, what am I gonna? You put so much pressure on yourself to like tell this amazing story. It's like I don't know what I'm gonna shoot. It
Exactly.
happens. I'm sure it
Oh yeah,
happens. Like,
and
what are
those
you gonna
days
do,
it's
right? You
fine.
can't force life. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Those days are good too because I've still had a nice walk and a coffee and
Yeah,
got some
exactly.
fresh air.
You ever do pe- pedestrian Sundays in Kensington last
Uh,
summer, where they closed down? Where
no,
they closed
we
down
did it.
Kensington? It's great. I might.
Halloween. I was down there. I was
Yeah,
down there.
Halloween's
They
also
had
good too.
yeah, and I was there for a little bit doing the Halloween and yeah, it was pretty entertaining. And we took I met up. It was with Get Out and Shoot
Yep.
with is it Elizabeth? I can't remember who.
Kim probably.
Kim. You're right. It
Yeah.
was Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went down there with them and we checked all that out. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
It
no,
was a
that's a
little
good
bit.
spot. It's a good spot.
Hmm. Oh yeah, it'd be great just to camp out there sometime. Pick a corner.
Oh yeah, 100%,
Hmm
100%. There's so much there. There's so much there. Like what? Like I guess like what are some of the spots or things that you want to shoot this year?
Uh, this year probably more of the same, but I want to. For years now, I've been traveling to different towns in Ontario, different
Yeah,
cities and stuff with the baseball tournaments.
yeah.
And so often you're either you're with the team or you're staying at
Yeah.
the hotel with the team, and you don't really get out. So I would like to make some purposeful street photography jaunts and go up to like small town Ontario, spend a
Small
day.
town Ontario. That could be like another theme for the next
Mm,
library gallery.
yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, and
It
yeah,
definitely.
you can
There's so
drive.
many. There's so many small Ontario towns.
Mhm. Exactly. And every single one with a baseball diamond I've seen.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's like the theme. Maybe you can shoot every single baseball diamond,
Oh, for
or maybe
sure.
you don't want to do that. I don't know.
Uh, yeah, I've there's lots, even like Hamilton. I've never been to Hamilton,
You've
but
never been
I'm
to
sure there's
Hamilton?
never,
What?
not really. There must be
What?
places that I could probably, they
It's
must have street
great.
corners there. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so that'll
especially in the
be
summertime. You gotta go in the summertime, man.
yeah, hopefully
You
that'll
know
be
what? They have like a doors open event, I think, in April or May,
hmm
and it's great because
yeah.
you get a lot of action for like street stuff. Because
Oh, for sure.
in
For
Toronto,
sure.
they have the doors open in Toronto. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
in
yeah. Same
Hamilton,
idea.
and then it's actually really quite good. So yeah, Hamilton, man, you gotta. That should be like first on your list.
Yeah, we didn't play baseball a lot in Hamilton, so I've never explored
Really?
Hamilton, but that'd be fun. Just 2 feet, a heartbeat, the camera, just checking out the street for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, man. Small town Ontario could be definitely a project.
Oh, for sure. And
Could be
even
definitely.
yeah, this because most of the times we've been in different towns and areas in Ontario where it's
Yeah.
for a reason, we're doing something. It's either family oriented or what have you, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of exploration with the camera would be fun.
100%. Especially with this guy like this, Massey Hall. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he was just sitting there, and
What?
yeah, he was just chilling, and I took the photo, and he heard the
Yeah.
shutter, and he
Yeah.
got up and left. So he's like, "Here, that's your one shot."
Is that what he said to you?
No, but as soon as I took the shot, he looked over at me. I nodded. He got up and left. I was like, "All right, it's okay. I got my shot."
It's all I needed. It's all I needed is
Yeah,
one shot. I don't need more than one.
yeah.
It's
I'm not
great,
sure
man.
exactly. Yeah, he
I
just
think
thought that was a good place to chill.
a lot of people would think that it's a stage, but no, he was like this in real life.
Yeah, the box office is just up there in front of him to
Yeah.
his left.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think the group he's with or the people are at the box office, and he
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
sitting there chilling while they were getting tickets, or I'm not sure what they were doing.
I love Massey Hall, man. It's so good
hmm
inside.
Yeah, have fun
It's
an
so
excuse
nice
to
and
go
like
there.
I
Go.
went when they had doors open like 10,000 years ago. I
hmm
went in and I had this really cool black and white shot of an empty like Massey Hall. There was no one there.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a
At the
great place to shoot.
Mhm.
Like it was, but it was but before COVID. So I'm like, wow, this photo has a whole new meaning because like there's no one in there.
Oh yeah,
And
and so
yeah, it's just a
they've
great place.
renovated since then, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
They
exactly the
have.
same on the inside though, even with the renovations.
Yeah, there's some minor changes, but yeah, it's more or less the same. They just made it look nicer a little bit,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'll have
better seats,
mm,
better
more
seats.
comfortable.
You don't, yeah, like better seating. But that's one thing. That's one thing I want to do more of is it's like concert photography.
Mm, concert would be so much
Yeah, I
fun.
have some friends that do it. They have some
Yeah, yeah.
killer
Probably the same
stuff.
friends.
Like just especially like black and white concert photography.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
it was
cool
wild.
stuff. There's some cool stuff.
And usually they get in the pit for the first three or
Yeah,
four
they get in the
songs.
pit and they're just like you just spray and pray. You just hope you get something.
Mm.
It's hard with like
After
the
the
light.
pit, did they get to see the rest of the concert, or is that'd be all right? That's worth it.
No, they told me that they usually only allowed for like one or two songs.
Mm.
Then you gotta leave.
Mm.
You're not there the
Still
whole
pretty
time.
cool.
So no pressure, but I mean,
hmm hmm
make sure you get something real quick, you know. But that's something I would like to do more is concert. I think that'd be cool. But
Mm.
I like grabbing moments. Like I like grabbing really cool moments.
hmm You should shoot a baseball then, kids baseball.
I should,
The
right?
moments when they're hugging at first base or
When
sliding
they're like,
in or dusting
yeah.
off
Well, that's
or
it, right?
the
It's about
agony of
like,
defeat and the thrill of
yeah,
victory.
yeah. It's kind of like life, but in sport. Like you win, you
Yeah,
lose, and all kind of
real
like that
life.
kind of vibe, you know. Like
hmm
to me, it's like, yeah. If I was doing like sports, like yeah, I don't know. I would probably focus more on like the emotion of it, not even
Oh,
like
for sure.
the game, like more on the emotion of it somehow.
Yeah, that's what I
You know?
ended up doing mostly with the boys was trying to get the
Yeah,
candid emotional moments and
yeah. Because I'm like anyone can just shoot someone hitting a ball, but I'm like, can you
yeah,
get the moment?
exactly.
Can you get the moment though? Like, can you get the
Yeah, yeah,
actual like moment?
yeah, yeah.
to me, it's like that's I don't know. I'm always trying to like make my stuff stand out because like like when someone looks at the photo, they want to know it's a Darcy O'Quinn photo.
Oh, for sure.
When someone can say
Yeah.
that, it's like, well, you really made it. Then if someone
Yeah,
knows
you did
by looking,
something.
it's like that's a Darcy photo, man. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
can only hope.
that's where I always like it's like where I strive to get to. It's like when someone looks at something, it's like, oh, I know exactly who that is. Like
Nice.
that to me is cool, but takes takes practice a lot of times.
Yeah,
right?
it's a 10,000 hours.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's 10,000 hours. It's also like, you got to be really like committed to it somehow. Especially when it's not necessarily like your main paying gig, and maybe it's not even a paying gig at all. It's like you're just out there. No one's telling you to be here. It's 7:30 in the morning. Whatever. It's tough sometimes, right? So you got to really make sure that you're like doing it for like the right reasons, and you never know. That's why I always say like, just share your work because you never know, like who's watching sometimes.
Right? But more than half the time though, it's therapeutic. I like to go out the zen of a walking the streets and sipping a coffee and watching the sights and the sounds. And
I don't know. I think that's why sometimes we get into the photography world, because we like that kind of like free therapy sometimes.
For sure.
I think that's what's like the allure of it sometimes.
Yep.
Maybe. Some of it could be the gear. Some of it could be like, I don't know, whatever. Could be developing your own film. Could be that too. But at its core, I think there is like a therapeutic, like calmingness to it.
Oh, for sure. And it's great to get out, and it clears the mind. I love it. I'm a walker.
Yeah, it makes you go for a walk.
Yeah, and quite often I'll just take the camera for a walk.
It gives you a reason to go for a walk, basically, right?
Exactly. Without having to
gives you a reason.
Yeah, without having to clean up after a dog.
Yeah, well, exactly it. Exactly. I know, right? Like that's like, and you need to. Yeah, it's like it's just so simple times. So like, especially like when it's nice out, you want to get out. Oh, let's go for a walk with the camera, and you just feel so much better after. Like even when I was working downtown, I always like kind of made myself challenges. Like, oh, I'll just shoot on my lunch hour. I'll give it like the 30-minute challenge. Yeah. And you have 30 minutes to like shoot. You put a timer on, and you kind of give yourself like a little mini project. And after that worked out, I just felt better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like most people, my 9 to 5, 5 days a week, I'm inside. There's a roof over my head, and weekends I just can't wait to get outside.
Yeah, like that's like you need to exactly like it's interesting, right? It's just like how people get into it, like how long people stay with it, like what happens. Like it's just I've heard some really cool stories. Like it's just really fascinating because it always starts so innocent. Like you're shooting your kids baseball, you never know where that's going to take you, right? Like it's just okay. So because we like live in a world where like things are flying at us all the time. Like, oh, okay.
Shooting baseball, and then I'm shooting strangers at Massey Hall.
Well, that's what I mean. Like never, and what I mean is like now you have like a gallery at the library. Like not everyone can say that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like it takes a little bit of like putting yourself out there to like be able to do that. And
no, it's always a learning, and it's keeping the mind active and the eyes active, and it's fun. And I like learning about like art history in general, so the history of photography and this and where it's come from, where it's going.
So you read about the history too, right?
Yeah. That started in like high school, taking art history classes and stuff, and it was always fascinating. And it's like a history lesson, right? But
so who's like your biggest inspiration from back in like the good old days?
Art wise, I've always liked I like the whole romantic movement. I like the I like the who is it? I like Caravaggio. He was always cool.
Okay.
Yes, I liked all the dark into the more the romantic ones, right? A big pre-Raphaelis. Andrew White, the guy at he was always pretty cool. Edward Hopper.
Edward Hopper, eh?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I've always been more about the melancholy.
I got Caravaggio here. This is him, right?
Yeah. It's always It's
What's like
always
his
dark
most famous?
and broody.
What's his most famous painting?
I don't even know which would be
What
the
is
most
Caravaggio
famous,
known
but
for?
yeah, the one where the beheading is Brutus. That one's pretty popular. But yeah, his history is pretty interesting. His photos always dark and brewing, and
there's some definite themes going on here, right?
yeah, lots of shadow play. I appreciate some shadows and some contrasts. And
interesting. Do you paint?
No, I figured maybe once I retire, I'll take photos and then paint them. Who knows? We have more time, but
you're
it's a lot easier to go out. No, but paint scenes instead of it, just taking pictures of them.
Yeah.
Oh wow! But who has time to paint?
I don't know. Like to me, painting is definitely it's definitely a commitment. But people love it. Again, I'm sure it's like the calming aspect. I can see it.
Yeah,
it's almost like knitting, very calming.
It's all about composition, same as photography. It's good to study like the classic composition, so then when you out taking photos, you can see a scene and look for compositions and hopefully it's working out.
You almost gotta like know the rules to break the rules.
Oh, for sure. Who was it? Even like a Picasso with all his cubism and his strange paintings and stuff, but he could actually draw, and he knew all the rules, and he had his shit together. And he knew the rules, and he started breaking them. It all worked out.
It worked out from the end. Mm-hmm. But didn't he get famous after he died, or am I mistaken?
No, I'm pretty sure he was already famous. He
was famous during.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for him then. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Put all that time. Don't you know who I am? Who?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But he started out traditionally enough, knowing the rules, composition, and shading, and the perspective, and all the rest of that.
Well, what's the one rule that you like to break in your photos? Like, do you like breaking certain rules usually?
It's weird because I know like the rule of thirds and stuff, and it's so difficult for me not to put every subject in the very center. Every time I look, it's always like once in a while I still do it, looking for symmetry and stuff. I'll center my subject, and
then a lot of it, you can't do that. You can't do that.
But a lot of time it's just I'll look at it and I'll go, oh, okay, and I'm not really that concerned. I'm just looking to see how it feels, how it looks. Well, composition. Rules be damned.
Well, I always go by the rule of like, does it look cool?
Yeah. One rule I try to follow is a horizon. I try to keep everything nice and neat.
Yeah. Well, you got this guy in the center, right? So there you go.
Yeah. Yep. See. And he's probably even more centered, and then I had to crop him to keep him in off to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at Balzac's. That's the Balzac's at a
by the Up Express, right?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. Even you got this guy in the center too, a little bit. Oh, he's a little bit to the right, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Again, he would have been probably completely centered, and then I cropped the photo.
Yeah. I like how you got the stride. I always try to get people in the stride when people are walking. Mm-hmm. It just makes the photo, I don't know, just a little bit cooler.
Yeah. I was out recently with my son last weekend. And I had the cameras taking some pictures, and he's like, and I'll take like 2 or 3 maybe. He's like suggesting, you gotta spray and pray, Dad. Just take a whole bunch of them. I was like, yeah, who has time for that?
Who has time?
That's even more. That's even more pictures to look through later. And
time is money.
Yeah,
or something like that.
I'll usually snap 2 or 3 shots, and and hopefully one of those works out.
Yeah, that's the life of a photographer. I like how you use this though, especially like this is such a popular spot to shoot, but you got this guy with the light. It's great.
Oh yeah, that's in front of the TD tower. You can
Yeah,
That's a great place to hang out. The
it
lighting is
is.
always dynamic, and you don't know it's always
Yeah,
long shadows. You don't know which way it's
yeah.
coming from or it's going, and
I know.
there's always dramatic lighting.
I like the financial district in general too. I think it's a great spot
Hmm.
because you get these
And
people in
then
the suits and all that, and you get some pretty important people walking around, and sometimes you get some cool stuff.
hmm yeah, a lot of people are taking the pictures of the giant flag there. I'm like, oh, you're missing out. There's
Yeah,
still
no, I
so
know.
much
Yeah,
around
we
here.
all have that.
The
We all
cows in
have
the
that.
courtyard. But again,
That's
those
like
are
the
the
first.
cliche shots you have to take. You have to
Well,
take the
that's the
pictures
first
of
photo
those
you take.
cows.
Well, no, and now you can't get you can't get the entire shot because it's blocked, so you can't get
Yeah.
that anymore. So you
Yeah.
can only get the flag photo, and then that's it. So
Yeah, and I've taken that flag photo, got that out of the
we
system.
all have that photo,
Yeah.
multiple seasons and
Mhm.
variations in black and white, and
Yeah.
but
But yeah, most of my photos here, if you looking at them, I try to. It's all about the solitudes. I'm always trying to find the guy
yeah,
away from the herd. Whoever gets separated from the herd, that's
yeah.
the one I'm shooting.
So in some cases, they were with someone else,
Oh
or
yeah,
they
there's this kid.
like
I think his
like his
sister was up ahead of him, and
yeah
his parents are
kids.
in just off to the right. And
Okay,
I just waited for one of them to get to break
okay.
free. And off he goes.
I like how he's running away from the shot, and I like how the shadows there too. I think
Hmm.
that's cool.
But yeah, initially I liked the that corner shot of the one coming in just at his thigh there. That's what caught my eye. I was like, oh, there must be somehow how I could play with that.
Yeah, it's interesting, and
Yeah,
it kind
that's
of looks like a Spider-Man with like the red
yeah,
blue jacket a little bit.
yeah. There's so many people taking so many good shots at Nathan Phillips Square. I'm always impressed because I've been there, I don't
Tons.
know, 100 times. Quite often
Yeah,
I get that hot dog. I get a hot dog down at one of those stands.
yeah. You need to. It's
Oh yeah,
mandatory.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
mandatory.
Yeah. If they knew my name, they'd know me by name.
Yeah, Darcy,
But
you're back
yeah,
again. Yep,
yeah, exactly. But
yep,
there's so many people take so many great photos in that area, and things that I've
yeah,
seen 100 times, and there's still so many angles that people pick out, and
yeah.
it's fun to watch.
Well, I think that's the challenge of just like shooting in such a popular like spot is being able to like make it different.
Hmm.
Like, how are you gonna make it different, right? So, like, kind of like what you did with like the TD shot is like you use the lighting, use the shadows, use the
Yeah.
and that comes with like paying attention and kind of being patient and
Hmm.
anticipating like where things will be a little bit too,
Yeah.
which is a
Yeah. Yeah.
skill. Like, I think that's a skill. Like, not everyone can do that. Like, so
Yeah. You got to get into shooting mode. A lot of these photos here, I I'll take probably within like 20 minutes or a half hour when I'm in the mode.
yeah,
I'll pop, 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 and then
yeah,
I
yeah,
have enough to edit and keep me busy for that month. So I can
yeah.
post a photo every Friday. I try to post something.
Oh, is that kind of like your goal?
Yeah, yeah. So like the guy on the unicycle motorcycle,
Yeah.
that fog, and the guy above him walking across the street, that was within minutes of each other.
Okay.
And it somehow it just yeah sometimes it's like the compositions it's just there you're seeing
Yeah.
better and
Yeah.
when you're hot and I try to take
Yeah.
as many photos and it's like
When you're
oh
on a
I'm
heater,
seeing
you just got to keep going, man. You
yeah
don't stop.
exactly yeah
You
I
don't
try to
stop. You
shoot
just
as much
gotta
as I can
you gotta
and
ride
I'm
that wave.
only out maybe once a month so I try to take as much take advantage
Yeah,
of
yeah.
as much as I can.
Yeah, no, you gotta ride that wave for sure. But
Yeah.
like what I love is this. Like you use the mirror.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
That's so good. Man.
this guy he must have read my mind. That was on Queen Street, Queen of Battersea, I think.
Yeah.
And I was across the street, and as people were walking by the storefront, I was trying to get a picture, get their reflection in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, he read my mind. He's the actual guy that was working in the store, and he came out to adjust. Or I was like, oh, perfect.
No, it's perfect. Like it's literally perfect. Like
Yeah,
geez.
yeah. He wasn't moving too much, and he looked at me, and yeah, he was all right with it. He's probably used to people on Queen Street shooting his storefront.
He must have been like you must have been like, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thank you for
exactly.
that.
Yeah, yeah. It worked out just fine.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta use what comes your way. You just gotta kind of be ready for the moment because if you're not, that guy's gonna be gone in 2 seconds. So
Yep.
that's what it is. Even stuff like that, even using the elephant is an elephant. What is it?
Yeah, that's an elephant made of luggage.
Framing the person, like just stuff like that. Like, it's
And
good.
that's at the AGO, and I was standing
Yeah,
underneath it was raining, and I
yeah.
was underneath the doorway of the building across the street, and this person here, they were underneath the elephant staying dry. And oh wow, look at that, both
Yeah,
of us, perfect.
yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it gotta pay
And the
attention, or else
elephant
you
was
lose
fairly
it.
new to me at that point. I wanted to
Yeah,
incorporate him into the stream somehow and
yeah,
tag the AGO.
yeah. Of course, why won't? Of course. Got it. I like the AGO. I like the ROM.
Mm-hmm.
Some good
Yeah,
stuff there.
yeah, I try to go to the AGO once in a while. It's nice to go around, look at the art, and watch people. And see if there's anyone you can shoot,
Yeah,
any compositions happening inside the gallery.
it's a great spot. I like. You ever go in like the main branch of the Toronto Library inside with like the nice architecture inside? It's pretty cool. They don't like
Yeah.
they don't like they don't like people with cameras in there though. But
Oh, really?
no,
Yeah. More often than not, I've gone in there just to use the washroom or grab a coffee.
the main
Yeah.
branch of the library, like the one
Yeah.
on Bloor, I think. Oh,
Yeah. I've gone in there a few times and I went around. I've never actually shot. I put that on
you
my
know,
list of things to do.
it's a good spot actually.
Hmm.
They just don't like, because I went in there one time and they're like, you gotta sign this
Oh, really?
release. You gotta sign this permit or something. Like, okay, yeah, because I think they're used to so many people walking through with cameras and people are trying to like study for like exams and stuff. It's like you just,
Yeah,
but you don't
I
understand.
was.
Like your ability is so cool to shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get it anyway. But
Last
yeah, that's some
summer I
good
was up
spots.
the Aga Khan Museum,
The
and
Icon
when
is another
yeah,
spot.
and you're allowed to take photos inside it, but as soon as you go outside, the security are
Yeah,
pretty
I know. As soon
pretty
as
because
soon as you
they're
take it, I know it's crazy. I
and
know. I
yeah,
know.
apparently
I
they're
know.
used to a lot of people just coming in and shooting, and they're like, all right, you gotta get a permit. So
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah.
So I went and I asked the front desk, well, how much is it? Give me a permit
Yeah.
to shoot in there. So well, I have to get it months in advance, and it costs
Yeah.
over $200. I'll just use my cell phone. Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
crazy sometimes. Like
Yeah.
it's almost free advertising because we'll tag you. You can just use it if you want.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Free advertising, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I find that whenever people take out tripods, they automatically link you to being a professional. It's like, who are you with? Who's your
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with myself. What's with the tripod on the gear? It's like because I have it. It's
Exactly. Yeah,
happened a
that
couple
was
times at
this.
AgaCon. It's like you can't have a tripod. Okay, all right.
Hmm.
But they don't
Yeah.
they don't really know, right? But it's
Oh no,
funny
for
like
sure
how
not.
perception, like people perceive perception. It's like, you could have a client but show up with like the iPhone 15,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is like the greatest camera out there right now, and the client be like, oh, that's all you got, but this is the best camera there is.
Oh, for sure.
And
It,
you
yeah, I
could walk
told.
around with a $5,000 camera and say, oh, you must work for like National Geographic or something. Like, it's just
Mhm.
perception, right?
Right, I get so many amazing shots with the phone these days because yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
times you've always got it. And when I was in Japan, I took so many photos with
of
more with
course.
the phone than obviously with the camera. And I've been
Yeah,
posting a little bit on my stories and stuff.
yeah,
Eventually, I'll add it to the where you keep the stories on the bottom,
yeah.
and I'll add a whole Japan
Like the real,
file.
you mean?
Yeah, the reel. It'll just
Yeah.
be a whole bunch of the Japan flicks, but I'm waiting until I post them all.
You must have a lot though.
Oh, yeah, tons. I got tons of
You must have a
photos.
lot.
Yeah, I think
That's
the
all.
last
That's
four
all I would be
posts.
doing is just shooting for
Yeah.
24 hours every day.
Oh yeah, when we weren't eating and traveling
Yeah,
and doing touristy stuff
yeah,
and spending time with the family,
yeah, yeah.
shopping,
No, that's a lot
all
of
that
fun, man.
stuff.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I gotta go back. I really want to.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah.
quite.
A lot of times though, you don't even. Yeah, you could probably just go like to the airport or to like a random street corner. Like it's just there's just so much inspiration there. And that's true pretty much anywhere.
Yeah,
The right lighting and you can shoot all
yeah.
day anywhere.
So you don't need to go to Japan to get great photos?
No.
Damn it! You're crushing my dream, Darcy. You're crushing my dream, man. You're
Mhm.
right. You're right. You don't need to go to amazing. Like, you can go down the street and just
Oh yeah.
and just like wait and pay attention, right? Like you don't need to.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people use it as a crutch. Oh, I need to go here. I need to go to New York City
Oh, for sure, for sure.
to like take amazing like street photos.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you can just go to like the financial district and get the same thing.
I remember a few years ago, I was just in the parking lot at IKEA in the underground parking lot. And I snapped this shot, and it was just it's a beautiful shot. And it's just of like just the way the light was playing against the wall, and there's a grocery cart there. I was like, oh, this is nice. And I'm not sure if I put it on my feed, but it was popular with the people that did see it. Yeah,
I think it could look cool. I think I can kind of see it in my mind too.
Yeah. Yeah, keep the
Is
eye.
it kind of like a moody? Is it kind of like a moody vibe, like a moody?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, it's important to keep the eyes open and open to different perspectives and compositions.
And I think like not put so much pressure on getting great photos every time, and just kind of like letting it happen a little bit, kind of like letting life unfold a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But speaking of projects this year, I've been looking for. I'm trying to get more into portraits. I've done some family portraits for friends and stuff, and baseball portraits and stuff like that.
Sure.
So yeah, hopefully this year I find some more innocent victims.
Like formal portraits, or just like
formal portraits. Like people are like, hey, come take. I did like Christmas cards and stuff for different people, and all the baseball. And I've done some portrait, but I want some more willing victims in the future.
You want willing victims, eh?
Yeah. So then
like
you can tell them.
you're using lights and stuff. Like how are you shooting these things?
Just lifestyle, a portrait on the streets, or But I want to get more into that. I might even take like one of those the studio courses.
Yeah.
To see where it takes me. I can be a street and a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I've had different people for their profiles and Instagram and their LinkedIn and stuff, and that's a thing. And I've had people approach me for that, and
why not?
And weddings, they're like, oh, you're for come. I was like, I don't know if I want to shoot your wedding, but I'll take pictures. I don't know if they'd translate well.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, see what I mean. I think it's important to try different areas of photography and see what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, it's fun. It's all new.
Yeah, you got to keep learning. You got to kind of keep branching out. Kind of keep things challenging for yourself too, right?
Oh yeah, I was thinking even doing something like silly, like get a diffuser and find out how it works and what you can do with it, and just experiment new gear here and there.
You can do so much with so many different things, man. You'd be surprised.
I remember a couple years ago, a friend of mine gave me his 70 to 200.
Yeah,
it's just like for like a week, and that was so much fun. Just trying to.
Yeah, exactly. It was just different kind of like tools to kind of keep like the spirit alive, right? Because I always kind of like get bored sometimes with my I always get I get bored easily sometimes. So I need to find ways to keep like the spirit alive. So I'll have to try new things or new places or whatever. Something new just to keep me going, because that's just the way I am. So
mix it up a bit.
You got
just like doing this this interview with you. This is something new and different for me. You don't get that many new experiences in your life. As what this is new. This is fun. This is
your first podcast in life. So like the second podcast, you're like, I'm a veteran. I can crush this.
Yeah. Last time I did like a video interview was for a job. A job.
You're hired, Darcy. You're hired, man.
Yeah. So hopefully I got the job. Last time was during COVID, and then doing the job interviews.
I know, right? Zoom was our life.
Oh, for sure.
Those are the days. Not really, but I think it's important to people that are watching and listening, just to kind of be open to new things and not kind of get stuck in your ways, and kind of keep the ball rolling and just be disciplined about it. I think Darcy's a great example of that, because you just keep going, right? Which I think is the hardest part sometimes, just to keep going.
For sure. You never know. A lot of times, like I'll go down to Union, like, oh, it looks like I'm at Union Station again. It looks like I'm
Yeah,
at the Harbourfront, but the
yeah.
same people aren't there that were there last time, or
No, it's different.
there's,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
different.
always changing. The lights changing, the
Yeah,
temperature's changing.
it's a different mindset, right?
Hmm And
No,
luckily with Toronto, there's construction nonstop, 24/7. So you never
yeah.
even know if that building's still going to be there, or if there's going to be.
No, I don't know. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Um, is there still construction by like the Gooderham
By the where?
building? Is there still construction there on the front of it? By the St.
Yeah, I'm
Lawrence
not
Market.
even. Yeah. I'm trying. I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, it's been like there for the past 10,000 years. But
Yep.
always be open. Good mantra. Yeah, that's true. Are
Yes.
you? Do you know this person?
This is Rob. He came over last summer from the UK, and we did a photo walk in downtown,
Oh,
and I
hi,
showed him the
Rob.
streets of Toronto. It was tons of fun.
Okay, thanks,
And
Rob, for jumping on.
hmm and he's always encouraging and a good sport.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, we're up against the hour. So, did you want to add anything else, or kind of give any more tips, tricks, advice,
No, stop
like
by the
feedback?
feed, say hi.
Say hi to Darcy.
Yeah, come up to in March. Go up to the Ritchie Library. Check out the
Yes,
wares. Check out the
definitely,
unit.
definitely.
DM me if you ever want to head out and do some Sunday morning shooting somewhere, or look for me. You see, now they've seen my face. Don't be afraid to.
There's gonna be people looking for like, hey, have you guys seen Darcy?
Well, it's weird because a lot of time I'll be downtown and I recognize some photographers and we'll
Yeah,
talk and take a couple photos and stuff together. But a lot of times you don't know if it's someone from Toronto or
you
just an
just don't know.
international tourist with a
You
camera.
don't
And
know. You got the camera. It's like you look local, but maybe you're not. Are you
yeah,
looking at a map? Or I know it's hard sometimes.
yeah. So for sure, no people see the face and know I'm one of them.
I come in peace.
Yeah, exactly.
I come in peace. Don't worry. I won't take your photo. It's okay.
Mhm.
We're on the same team, guys.
I will take their photo, but
But I will take your
email
photo.
it
But
to. I'll send it to you later.
I'll send it to you later with the invoice. How about that?
Exactly.
There you go. There you go.
Mhm.
Thanks, Darcy, for taking time. Really appreciate you coming on, man. It was really cool chat. Really cool work, man. Really like your stuff.
No, excellent. No, thank you so much for having me. This
Like,
was tons of fun. This is expanding my
yeah,
horizons. Look at that.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
more
Love.
fuller human being now.
Well, that's the first time anyone's ever said that after this show, so I'll take that as a
Yeah.
compliment. And
And apparently I
yeah,
got
man, I
the
would love
job,
to
so this worked out.
get the job. You start Monday,
Yeah,
and we'll figure it
exactly.
out. Thanks everyone for watching, listening, and go check out Darcy O'Quinn on Instagram. And yeah, man, love to have you back on maybe later on in the year and see what you're up to.
I'll let you know how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, thanks again for watching, listening. Follow Open Shutter YouTube on Instagram for future show announcements, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again,
Thank
Darcy.
you. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.